few quick updates. I am in the process of starting the edits for the beta run on Flux Runners. I started working on the kids' book actively, and I've got about 5 other stories that are right behind. So if all goes well, I'm going to be very, very busy and hopefully publishing a bunch of stuff soon. The main focus of this one, though, that I wanted to talk about was Uncle Timmy. So anybody that's not attached to LibertyCon knows what LibertyCon is or has ever met the man. Uncle Timmy is the founder of LibertyCon. This year this year is the 33rd year? Yeah. 33rd, 32nd? I don't remember. But way back in the day, he started this thing up. Now, anybody that's actually been following this stuff knows that I have struggled with finding out how to go about writing and publishing and just everything to do with the business until about 2 years ago, or going on 3 years ago now. A friend of mine, Michael Gantz, Subdued Gantz for anybody who's read any of John Ringo's stuff, he told me about LibertyCon, and I'd never heard about it before. So I go. First year was amazing. I had learned more in a weekend, hanging out with all these amazing authors, people that I've read their stuff, and it's like, holy shit, they're way up here on that totem pole. And I'm just that little peon down at the bottom trying to scrabble his way up. But the more, after that first year, and then I went last year, and it's not like that. I'm sure there's a few that have ego issues and their heads stuck up their ass, but that's one thing that I've learned at LibertyCon, because it is a writer's convention. It's not just about fandoms. It's not just about Star Wars and Star Trek and video games and everything else that goes with cons. This is about writing. It's for the writers, by the writers. I don't know exactly all the details of how everything came about, but Uncle Timmy's the one that put it together. I think somebody had told me that Jim Bain had requested that he put this together, so we had something here in Chattanooga. And it's awesome. I met awesome people like Brandy, who's Uncle Timmy's dad. She has taken over the reins, and she's been running LibertyCon for the last couple of years. Tony Weiskopf. She's the head of Bang Books. I get grandma hugs from Tony, which is freaking awesome. Terry Maggard and was Gray Reinhardt, and just there's so many people that Todd McCafferty. I sat and had a conversation for like an hour or hour and a half with him first year, just bullshitting back and forth, and it's just awesome. But if Uncle Timmy hadn't have put this together, I'd have never had this experience. I have struggled for years to find how to go about, because I never could seem to find the information. Teachers in high school never could give me the information I needed. The Writers Guild here in town were all literary, and they didn't do anything to do with pulp. So I had no direction, and I was fumbling through as best as I could. And everyone out there that writes or is an artist in some way knows how detrimental that is to your mental health when it comes to getting things done and learning and progressing, because if you can't figure it out, you start getting depressed and you don't know what to do. Well, in almost 3 years now, this next month will be 3 years for the third con that I've been to at LibertyCon. I have grown by leaps and bounds on my writing. I have networked and connected with so many authors, so many amazing people. The knowledge base. And you throw a question at people and they answer it. And if they don't know, they're popping somebody else in. And that's one thing about LibertyCon that I have been amazed about, is it's like family. It feels like family when you get in there. And you can just talk to people. You're participating in these panels. At least, well, I do. And I don't know if I piss off anybody with that one, because I'm always yelling questions out and stuff like that. Why not? What are they going to do? Tell me no. But you know, if it hadn't been for Uncle Timmy, this would have never happened, and I would never be at this stage of my writing career. I may never go anywhere with it, but I'm sure as hell going to try. I'm going to put my stuff out there and scream it to the world and let them decide. And if nothing else, I've got these stories out of my freaking head, and I'm moving on to the next one, and it's just going to keep piling on and piling on. I'm going to self-publish, so what am I out? Nothing. I don't have to pay for books if I don't want to. It's all print on demand. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, cool. So we're good. I do regret that I didn't get to spend more time talking to Uncle Timmy. Because he has passed. I don't know exactly when. I saw a post just a little while ago up on Facebook from LibertyCon, and I don't know if it was Brandy or Fritz or who had put it up. But he's passed. Hopefully I'll find out when the funeral is so I can show up and pay my respects. But I was invited to this past year's Christmas party for LibertyCon, and I got to sit down and, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes maybe, and just sit and talk with Timmy. And the stories that he was telling, it felt wrong for me to hear these things. What was it? He was telling me about, I don't remember what convention it was. And he was hanging out with Robert Jordan and his wife Harriet, and he'd known him for years, and they'd hung out, and he was drinking buddies, and all this and that. And they went to a room party, and he's sitting there massaging Harriet's feet and all this and that, and somebody came up and was like, "You do realize who she is, right?" "No." "And just giving her a foot massage." And Robert Jordan had gone off doing whatever, getting a drink or something. And I guess it was Tor's big release party that he walked into with them. But that was like when he learned that she was the head editor or one of the main editors for Tor. And he never realized it or something. What was it? He was... Oh, everybody that knows me knows how much I love Robert Howard's work, especially the Conan stuff. Robert Howard's creation was carried on for years by Le Sprague de Camp and Lynn Carter. And Uncle Timmy was telling me a story about he'd met up with them at a convention. I don't remember if he even told me which convention it was. And I think this was pre-LibertyCon. He'd been going to conventions for years and years and years. And he was just sitting there bullshitting, and they're back and forth. "Hey, how's it going? How's everything been?" It's like, "Yeah, we just got done with the book tour over in Europe or over in England, and like hollered at Token, and Token let us crash on his couch, or he offered for us to come crash on his couch for the weekend." It's just like, how does that happen? Really? And my alarms are going off. Okay, about time to get the kids in bed. But it's just like, how am I anything special to be privy to something like that? Because I got those people up here on that pedestal because I've read all these things by them. So Robert Jordan too. It's surreal for me, and to hear these stories that he was telling me about all these authors. Mercedes Lackey and Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman. I'm brain farting now. Pierce Anthony. He was just going down this laundry list and telling stories one after another. And I wish I had gotten a little bit more time to hear some more of those stories, because it's baffling. And I am a fan, but at the same time, I'm a peer, but it just don't seem right to hear these things. I guess eventually I'll grow out of that. I don't know. And I was going to be selfish this year at Con. I had this plan that I was going to go and try to worm my way into the spades competition. Probably lose horribly because, hell, it's been 2 decades since I played spades. But it would have been worth it. Don't care. As long as I can sit there and listen to some more stories. And just not going to happen this year, but it's okay. Because I'm sure that I will hear stories this year. There will be stories told by many other author and many other person that has known the man. So I will still get to hear all the tales of Uncle Timmy in one way or another. He is going to be greatly missed by the community. His family dearly loved him, and I hope that his passing was painless and easy. We lit candles just as soon as the word got out that they had started hospice. So I'll raise a glass tonight and toast to the old man, because he's telling his tales in the Great Hall. So y'all take it easy. Keep your heads up and your pen sharp.
Once we breached the atmosphere and felt the coldness of space, we realized how small we were and felt the tears on our face. We wrote the books that tried to comfort all those beings of faith, not finding heaven or something similar in its place. A single man could walk the earth and make his own mistakes. He fights and robs, he kills and steals reconnaissance for days. He double crosses